Today we will talk about essay and especially the introduction of that essay and in what way an introduction can be written and the four basic points of the introduction of an essay are going to be discussed, especially hook your reader, in what way you can do, context of the essay, in what way you can prepare that context, thesis statement, how can we make a thesis statement so lucrative, and fourth point is structures overview or the science part of that essay. Assalamu alaikum dear viewers, I am Professor Khalil ACP. Our last discussion was just an introduction of CSS, but today I have a greater or stronger issue to deal with or to discuss. And what that stronger issue? It is normal for every student just to struggle in life, but there are so many discouragers and there are so many encouragers too. Now we should just follow that who are the encouragers, not the discouragers, because discouragers always say that you are not eligible for that act. You want to do some CSS, how could you do that? That is impossible. It is possible, dear students or the viewers, if you will try. Now the question is, okay, how could you do that? You should always go with or move with the encouragers. They will always support you in certain facts that you should do that, you should do that. Don't bother yourself for the things that you are to study 22 hours in a day. You should study just 2 hours, but be strict to your ideas and always try to do something extraordinary with those ideas. In 2 hours study, you can do CSS. Most of the time, students came to me and asked me that, sir, how can I do? It is so common in everyone's life. They always said so, that if you will study 22 hours in a day, then you will be in a position just to do that CSS. I believe that if you will study 2 hours in a day, and believe you me, I have met so many people, they always said so, we were not habitual to study. We studied a little bit and then we succeed. Always try to be relevant to the subjects you are studying with. And I hope so, and I believe so, that there is one subject in CSS, not 12 subjects. That's why don't bother. And that one subject is essay writing. If you are too good in essay writing, then believe you me, nobody else can drag you down. They are going to take you forward, and that idea will take you forward. Our today's topic is very clear and straightforward. Essay writing. That's the main issue with every one of us, every student of every class. Now we should learn how to write an essay. We are not going to talk about the whole essay. We are going to take just one point, and that point is intro. Most of the time we are so striking in writing down the essay, and we take 3 or 4 days and write an essay of 40 pages. Don't bother yourself to write till the end, because that writing will never give you ever any sort of relief or any sort of goodness in you. We should just move on with the idea that how to write an introduction of an essay, just to understand the subject at first, whatever was being asked to you, and in what way you are going to deal with. I have read so many essays, and student always said so, that we worked 4 or 5 days to write down that essay, but the very first sentence of their essay is not too good to go forward in writing it. I think so that the first sentence will decide the essay's fate, and once you will write that one sentence in a wrong sense, that essay is not going to be taken in a good way. I think so that you should learn that in what way the very first sentence should be written so lucrative. I think so that every one of us should write down that sentence lucrative, that the reader just feel forced to study it again and again, and he will assess the approach of yours. If you are not in a position, just write down the true sense of that sentence, the very first sentence. How could you just deal the whole essay? That's why try just to what way you can just attract the attention of the audience and attract the attention of the reader or attract the attention of the checker. And you should always come after that checker, that when he will start checking your essay, he should be astounded. And astounded on what sense? That after reading the first sentence, he will decide either your hook is so strong or your hook is so weak. Or if you are starting with that sentence, it means it is going to decide the whole fate of the essay you have written. I always said to the students, don't try to bother yourself for nothing. Try just to produce a good sentence in the start, just to hook your readers. If once he will read it out and decide at the very next movement that this is the lucrative one. That's why the very first point of your essay writing, especially the introduction, should be the first sentence. Don't try to say that Shakespeare was a great poet or he was a great playwright. Christopher Marlowe was a playwright or he wrote so many plays. These are just useless things. Just to focus on the very first sentence, on that sense that very sentence is going to decide the whole fate of your essay. That's why don't go after useless things. Go after the idea you are to give to your students, and that idea will decide everything. Okay? Hook your reader. Get the attention or grab the attention of your reader should be the sole motto of your intro. And the very first sentence should be for that purpose. Don't bother yourself on the very first sentence in what way you are going to deal with the whole essay. The second point is context, and in what context you are writing that essay. You are to study it from different platforms, and after studying it you will learn how to write the context of that essay. Especially in that context, you should come with a clear definition of the essay you are given with. And the second thing is just relevant background of the essay. It should be taken in a most proper sense. And the third thing is that in what way you are just providing them the information of background. Is basically lies on that central argument. Essay is the central argument, and you should make it the way the question was being put by the examiner, and you should just make the whole statement of it, and that statement should be according to the very topic given to you by the examiner. And the fourth point is structures overview. After studying or after reading the whole introduction, then you should just understand the structure of it in the end. It is just like the finding, it is just like the conclusion. It's basically a sign spot that you have assessed it, and in what way you have assessed it, and that assessment of yours is basically the structures overview. I hope so that after listening this lecture of mine, you will try to understand in what way an essay can be written, and it is not so difficult. It is the easiest thing to move on.